Welcome to Inspirational Transformational TV show. Amy Whitney here today with my two very special guests, Roberta Keesick and Barbara Fobister. These women have traveled 2,000 kilometers today to spread the information about their community, what's happened to their people in Grassy Narrows, to the people of southwestern Ontario. The interview today is not to be missed. The information that these women share is heartbreaking. It's absolutely amazing that the northwest corner of Ontario has undergone destruction comparable to that of the Amazon basin in the 1980s. These women share their tale of the abuse of the land, the abuse of the people, the abuse of the water, the abuse of their spiritual places, and they also provide a website where each and every one of us can contribute to help prevent any further atrocities. Without further ado, I would love to welcome Roberta and Barbara to the show today.
Thank you so much for joining us today, ladies. Now, we were chatting a little bit off camera, and you have an absolutely beautiful story, Barbara, that you're going to share with us today that will highlight something, I think, to the audience. So I'll hand that over to you.
Before we came on this trip, my sister and I went on the land and we built the wigwam and we spent the night there. Just to ground ourselves to the land, and the early hours of the morning, I heard a little animal come creeping around our wigwam. I heard it first walking on the tarp, and it came closer and came around, and then when I looked to the side, I saw this little brown creature sitting there and looking at us, and I just shushed it away, and then it ran away, and I fell asleep. And in my sleep, I dreamt that I had this little pig, a small little pig, and it was red, and I was loving it up. I really loved this little pig, and it was on my neck, I was cuddling it on my neck, and when I woke up, it was the little mouse was on my neck, and I just normally I would freak out and just scream and probably would have jumped up, but this time I wasn't like that. I kind of felt sorry for the mouse, and in the morning when we got up, I told my sister about it. I told her I had a little visitor, and she just kind of said, well, we are on his territory and we're infringing on his territory. And that's kind of like what happens to us people. These big corporations come and they just come and bring their big machines and they just start, taking our resources like the trees and rocks and mining and stuff.
So currently on your land, they are actually deforesting your land still?
Yes.
Yes. Unbelievable. And you're on a speaking tour in southwestern Ontario right now to highlight what's actually happening? Yes.
Yes, we're on a speaking tour to create awareness and to gain support from the public.
Beautiful.
Well, we're from, I'd say, approximately 2,000 kilometers northwest from here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's at least a couple nights drive, and we're in the boreal forest,
mm-hmm.
and our community has approximately 800 people living on reserve,
mm-hmm.
and our outside the reserve, our traditional land use area is about 2,500 square kilometers, and about 75% of that has been clear cut by ITTV with a license from the province of Ontario. And this is a message we've come to give because we feel that the 25% we can't really afford any more logging. Our whole culture is based on like the land, like how we pray. We build our sweat lodge outside. And the food, we still eat the moose, the deer, the fish. And but we've been actively trying to protect it, starting off with doing like letter writing campaigns, protests, and meetings with MNR, meetings with like just protests, and just trying to do whatever we can, trying to like utilize the processes MNR has.
Yes.
And of course, in the end, they would still, everything would go on the side of the logging company to keep doing their cutting, and eventually we had to put up a blockade back in 2002, and that blockade is still very much there. We still go out and do like surveillance on the land, and we go do ceremonies on the land, and we go check up the activities, and and then we still come out and try and connect with groups and the outside world, so that they can maybe pass on the message more effectively than we can. Us, we're like mosquitoes, nobody listens to us, and but that's why we're out here. That's why we made that trip out here, and
congratulations.
To come and deliver that message.
I've read that the devastation to your land is equivalent to in the 80s when the Amazon basin was being destroyed, that you're losing your medicine, you're losing your livelihood, you've lost your health because of things that have happened. Is that correct? There's mercury poisoning in the past?
Yes, that's true. The mercury poisoning is still like an issue, and which the government keeps like shoving under and saying no, there's no more problems, but there actually is. We had like a Japanese doctor that has done studies on our people, and from what I understand, he's about the only world expert on the mercury poisoning. He has done studies and has said that that something needs to be done for the people at Grassy for the health problems caused by the mercury poisoning. He did a study when he originally came, and then his subsequent visits he studied the same people, and he said that those people have become sicker and sicker as well, even though the mercury level is down in the fish. He said there's still concern about long-term low-level exposure. It's like when we keep eating the fish, even though it has low level, he says that it's still a concern of that long-term exposure, because our people still eat the fish. It's part of who we are. It's like I said, the land, everything about the land is has to do with who we are as Anishinaabeg. Like, we get our food from there, we get our medicines, we pray there, and and we eat the fish, from the water, and
as you travel and spread your message to southwestern Ontario, is where you're at now, how are you received?
It's as usual. We've been really treated well, and a lot of people did not know about what's happening, and a lot of people did not know, where Grassy is, and but they seem like shocked and ready, to asking us like, what can we do? What can we do from here?
Yes.
So it's been a good response, and that has helped us bring the issue to the forefront.
Yes.
And but it seems like we need to do more. We have to do more.
Not just you, everybody. It's a national travesty what's happening, you know. And I say let's bring it to mainstream media and let's get it out there. So
well, like what Judy always tells the people, it's everybody's issue, like
yes.
What's happening to the earth.
Yes.
It affects everybody, and everybody needs to do something, and we all have to fight together and
That's
do
it.
something.
That's it.
For our own survival.
For all of us.
Our future kids. And
Yes. Thank you.
still,
With the land being still deforested, do you notice a change in the up and coming generation? Is it difficult for them compared to when you were young? And are they losing their traditional ceremonies, their traditional way of life?
I guess, well, when we were growing up, like our family was very much on the land. Like we were, my father, he fished, was a fisherman, a trapper, a hunter. He didn't really hold down like it was all on the land. His jobs
Yes.
and that was like that. And Grassy and people were still like traveling to their different seasons. They go trapping and wild rice harvesting, picking berries. That was the way it was when we were growing up, and then we got relocated to the present site,
Yes.
and there it kind of changed. And then with the mercury, the commercial fishing being put to an end because of the mercury poisoning,
Yes.
and then that changed people from that kind of took them off the land. And well, of course, they're scared, of the fish. It was a big scare as well. They said that we couldn't fish anymore, as a livelihood.
Yes.
And then we had, at the old reserve there was no road. At the new reserve, that's when the road came in and a school. So that kind of, I think that's where the big change happened.
Yes.
Kind of like everybody was on the land, then that changed them from kind of just staying on the reserve, and then the introduction of welfare.
Mm-hmm.
But now, with the logging, it didn't really employ too many people from our reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if it employed anybody, it would have been probably just a couple.
Yes.
And it was like a band member that had a small contract, but he couldn't even, he had to subcontract because he didn't have the right machine, to cut the trees and haul the wood out. He had to subcontract it to someone in Kenora, so actually the money was going to someone in Kenora. He was paying him. So, but now with this, us standing up, protesting and blockading against the logging, our youth have been, it has empowered the youth to start to go back to the land, and to realize that their place is just not on the reserve, because we've been brainwashed to think, we only belong on the reserve. Now they realize, that that's our land, that's our territory, and there's so much there that we can do, and so it's going back for us standing up, as well as creating awareness, teaching our kids, doing different things to promote that, and us actually being out there, because we were out there lots. We go out there and pray, we build wigwams, and we go do patrol our territory.
Yes.
and we kick loggers out, and we've actually, just last fall, we gave a notice that 1 year from October, we're going to start setting up toll gates, and the people that are using our land will have to come through those gates, and they have to pay something. It's not going to be a big amount, and because they pay the provincial government to go fish and to go hunt, and
Yes.
And none of that comes to us.
Yes.
And it's not about money, but with that money we could use, have our people out there and patrolling more of our people, and so that's kind of like what we hope to happen.
Yes.
And it's going to be a gradual thing. Like, look at us. We started the blockade 2002, and we're still there. And
Beautiful.
it's a slow process, but we just keep at it, and it's going to take a little while. But
You mentioned before that on your tour, you're being asked by people in this area what they can do to help your cause. What are some of the things that you would recommend somebody not from your area to do in order to help?
Well, we mentioned that there's a website, freegrassy.org.
Okay.
And on there it says, what ideas that people can do
Great.
to support us, and there's updated information on our activities too, and what Judy keeps going around mentioning is people to take a look at their their consumption of things like paper and electricity, because most likely it's coming from our territory, and it's affecting us up there. And so take a look at those kind of things, as well as check that site, and
Beautiful.
you'll give ideas.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know I've caught you in the middle of events, so I really, really appreciate you taking the time to speak to me today.
Okay.
Many blessings.
Barbara and Roberta, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Inspirational Transformational TV show today. Your message is so vital and important to reach as many people as possible. The experience that your community, that yourselves have been through, the atrocities that have occurred, the strength that it must take to stand up and say no more abuse is amazing to me. It's absolutely beautiful what you do, that you take the time to spread the word about the situation in Grassy Narrows. I wish you every ounce of success and many blessings for your pursuit of your freedom to hunt on your lands, to drink the water, to see your children raised in traditional ways, and to thrive in your community once again. It's, as we said in the interview, it's not just a Native American issue, it is a global issue, what's happened in Grassy Narrows, and the work you do is greatly appreciated by us all. Many blessings and much love.